Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 146. I am your host. He is my co-host. He is Jack. He is over on the other side of the table. He's looking confused. What were you confused about?
I don't know.
Just a general confusion?
Yeah.
Well, nice weather's here. I'm happy to say that. It's really warm today.
Yeah, it wasn't fully dark when I got home from work.
And I know that's nice too, right? Longer
Which is
days.
kind of weird.
It's going up to like 19 degrees today, Celsius, obviously, for our American friends, which is, I don't know, 68-ish, somewhere around there.
I know nothing.
Significantly warmer than it has been, at least. And so, I don't know, I just got back from your brother's basketball practice. That was exciting. He and your mother are out doing yard work, getting in the backyard. Pool's open, but not heated yet. So I think it's up 52 degrees right now. That would be Fahrenheit. And there's Canada in a nutshell, right?
Yeah, I know our pool is Fahrenheit.
I give the weather temperature in Celsius and our pool temperature in Fahrenheit because we just sort of flip back and forth here in Canada for the most part. We're metric when it comes to like kilometers an hour or how far you're like distance in kilometers, but then how tall are you? It's always going to be 6'1", right? It's always, we go back and forth between imperial and metric because why not, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't even think about like the height thing.
It's always, right?
Yeah.
Height, we always do imperial for some reason. And then when it comes to cooking, I find it's all over the place. Not that you would know, but as the one who cooks, sometimes sometimes it's in cups and stuff, and sometimes it's in milliliters, and sometimes it's in grams. No, it just doesn't make sense. But anyways, so a big excitement for you, I guess, this week was Thursday night. You saw a film.
Oh yeah,
right? You did see a film.
Uh-huh.
You already bumped the mic once.
That's one.
Sorry, folks. Get used to it.
Yeah,
that's one. So the film was
very good.
That's the name of it. I was trying to get you to say the name of the movie.
Oh.
You are the most reluctant banterer. Like all you have to do is say whatever movie it was. Was it Guardians of the Galaxy? 3?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Volume 3, but sure.
Okay, and it was good. Don't give spoilers because it is pretty recent. But yeah, I picked you guys up.
Oh yeah, it was great.
I picked you guys up, and you were very happy about.
Yeah, it's the best one we've seen since No Way Home. I mean, since Morbius. Because Morbius is fantastic.
Which is you being sarcastic, in case people don't know.
No, Morbius is amazing.
I seem to remember you saying it's not as bad as people think, but it's not good. And now
it's man's greatest accomplishment.
Right. So there's the sarcasm we've been waiting for. So that's why I wasn't sure when you guys were like, yeah, it was good when you got in the car.
It was great. Guardians movies don't miss. So
and it was long.
Yeah, well, this is actually more normal. They've just been doing it short lately, which I think resulted in some of them feeling rushed. So
2.5 hours is a long film.
I like this better. This is for them. It's pretty typical around this. I like it a lot better.
Good.
And I beat Survivor in 5 days.
Oh, the new video game?
Yeah. Well, I finished the story in 5 days. Are
you done playing it then? And you'll go back later?
No, I'm gonna play later because I'm trying to complete all the bounty missions. And I also saw a video of where to find a sick lightsaber. So
nice.
I'm gonna get that. But yeah, I grinded that since I got it, and like that was my whole Sunday last weekend.
It was. I can confirm.
Yeah,
you put in a lot of time.
Got the bulk of it done there.
And I've been putting in time on your Oculus golfing.
Now that it's working again.
With some dads down the street. Played some Pebble Beach.
Now that you fixed it.
Yes, and we learned that even if one of us buys like a course, all 3 of us or 4 of us now, because Chuck's playing too, you can invite them to play. So I don't have to pay for the course. I thought for sure if we all didn't buy it, we wouldn't get to use it, but that is not the case.
That's what I would expect, yeah.
So playing a lot of virtual golf, which is actually really fun. Going down to friends down the street garage every Toronto Maple Leaf game, and they're now down 0-2 in their second round series.
Today or no?
Are
you going today or no?
Tomorrow's the game. There's no game tonight.
I thought you were going today.
Nope, not today.
No.
So we'll be checking out, what is it? Backlash?
No WrestleMania.
Not WrestleMania Backlash, just good old Backlash. That'll be tonight. We'll watch that. Maybe tonight. You think you might go out, so maybe tomorrow. We're not too concerned about watching WWE events live. So
well, especially under the old new regime, the new old regime.
Whatever it is, yes.
Newish, oldish.
Current regime.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon regime.
Half Vince. 75% Vince,
seems
25% Triple H.
Seems like
something like that.
So yeah, I'm not super interested. Even looking, we're gonna preview it for sure later on. But even looking at the card, it's nothing super exciting, I don't think. But we'll get to it. You're gonna hit all the usual wrestling stuff. We'll talk about AEW Dynamite. We'll touch on NXT Impact Wrestling I watched. I think you got some stuff from SmackDown and Raw, probably.
Just the draft.
For Highspots. Oh, yeah, we'll get caught up on the draft. I'm losing some of my NXT people now.
Definitely.
And you're going to have to explain to me with this whole free agency thing, because I'm not sure quite what I
don't fully get it, but
even means. It's
we'll work on it.
Yeah, we'll get there, I guess. But I don't know. I don't really have anything else to banter about. Do you?
Mm-mm.
All right, let's get into talking about wrestling in our first weekly segment. That is taking a look at some of the week's wrestling news and rumors. All right, so ratings this week, NXT averaged 568,000 viewers, which is down 12.2. But I guess that's down because it was spring breaking, right? Which probably did a little. I think so. Because my notes still said spring breaking. Could have been.
I don't think it was this past week.
Oh, no. 0.14 in the key demographic, down significantly, 22.2%. And as you're going to hear me say for the next few weeks, probably competition from NBA and NHL playoffs. Dynamite, not a good number, 766,000. Down
low.
It is down 10.1% and a 0.28 in the key demo. That by my notes, that's the fourth straight week it's been 0.28. So all indications are that's what they care about more. I keep hearing, so I guess they're fine. The demo stays the same, but the overall viewership was down. And again, NBA, NHL playoffs are their main competition. I grabbed a lot of my news early this week, so hopefully you've checked recently.
I did, and I didn't really get many interesting findings.
I've got a bunch of things. I don't know if I'd call them interesting, but you go first.
So I have Charlotte Flair dealing with an undisclosed issue, so she's taking a hiatus from TV.
I saw that
Not that I care at all.
No, even though I loved the match at WrestleMania, right? But
what match?
Didn't she wrestle?
I fell
asleep. That's what you're saying. I'm like, wasn't that Rhea Ripley and I loved it? Yeah, you fell asleep for that one, and you still haven't gone back and caught up. See, I don't miss Charlotte either, really. I don't care if she's there or not, unfortunately. If they somehow could refresh her and make her different coming back, but they can't seem to. It's like she is who she is, kind of like Randy Orton.
I knew you were going to say that.
There's no range there, right? He is
Orton's
the same.
Either got, like, he's kind of like he's got his kind of babyface shtick, and then he's got like the really psychotic heel bit, and like he's got kind of two phases. And that's it.
And that's
I feel like Charlotte is even worse because I feel like she's just not a likable babyface
at all. Orton,
I feel like you can get behind, like because he did stuff like RK Bro, like you can get behind Orton better. I think, to his credit, I think with Charlotte, she even like from like the first time she turned face and when she moved to SmackDown 2017, like it just like, doesn't work.
You're not a babyface.
It just doesn't. It just doesn't translate.
I agree, and she can be great in the ring, but I just find
her heel work. I feel like the 2016 run was epic, and then since then I haven't really cared.
And she's just kind of there and the same all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you hear the first one I had is that WWE is reportedly considering a new member for Judgment Day?
JD McDonough.
Yes, that apparently it is JD McDonough, one of the call-ups to drafts, I guess, draft picks, is being quote heavily considered. Heavily discussed for joining Judgment Day. I don't know how I feel about that.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I love McDonough, and it'll get him on TV regularly.
Like, yeah, because Judgment Day's not bad. It was, but I don't think it is now. I think now it's a respectable group.
Agreed.
Right? It's got Ripley where she is.
But I feel like there's a ceiling on everyone else.
Yeah, so. I feel like they're kind of like they're prominent. I guess he does have a connection to Balor. And which is also kind of the thought.
That's true. Trained him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. I remember that was his whole thing before the UK tournament.
He kind of looked like Balor at that point, too.
Yeah. I don't think I need this for JD. I mean, I am worried he'll get lost in the shuffle, but I'm also worried that this will make him get lost in the shuffle.
I think that's less likely if he joins an established group that is on TV all the time.
But then also, I don't know what he's going to do within that group.
Agree.
So,
like, how is he offering something different
from Balor? With Priest, tagging with Dom.
I don't know.
I don't really want him tagging with Dom.
Me either.
Or Priest.
So I'm curious to see if it happens and what it looks like. But again, it'll get him on TV regularly, which he's awesome. So hopefully something works out for him. Your turn.
Headbangers got signed to like a nostalgia contract is what it's being called.
Wow, I haven't thought about them in forever.
I guess it'll be like see that. Merch and stuff.
Probably.
Hey, they were part of the SmackDown Tag Title Tournament in 2016.
That's true.
Okay,
they did. They were back.
You put some respect on their names.
For sure. I actually didn't hate them back in the day. I actually liked Mosh.
Which one was that?
He was the shorter one.
Wait, no, Chaz was the one that teamed with D'Lo Brown.
That's
right?
Chaz.
Okay.
That's Mosh, and so he was also Beaver Cleavage, I think.
Yeah, that was Chaz.
One of the all-time great gimmicks.
Brutal. I don't know if that's. I think that's definitely slightly worse than Burchill.
I agree. Pirate Burchill?
No, Paul Burchill. Do you remember the gimmick he had after Pirate Burchill?
No, what was it?
He had a sister, and it was implied.
Yes,
that
incestuous.
I think Beaver Cleavage is worse than that, but also,
it was bad.
But similar.
It was bad.
Yeah.
So we talked about it last week. The Elevation is gone from AEW. Apparently, Dark is gone as well. And I think it's shortly after signing that deal for the Collision show that's going to be on Saturdays. So it looks like both are going to be gone, and we're going to just have Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage. So still 5 hours of AEW, but nothing on the internet, which I kind of like because I don't follow any of those. And if they try to include any stories from there on TV, I get kind of frustrated.
To be fair, they're also usually not high card if you're getting stories from there.
So that's what I'm wondering is Collision, if it's taking the place of those, because those were mostly just like enhancement matches, right? I don't think Collision will be that. It sounds like it's going to be Punk's show.
I would have kept one of the Dark shows, honestly.
Yeah, I thought so too. Like there's a place for
Dark. It makes sense to have it. I would have kept that. I would have given one of obviously I don't know the TNT slots, but I would have given one of the TV slots, or like I would have given Monday or Tuesday to Collision, because I feel like a weekend slot, I just don't like a weekend.
I'm not a big fan either. It doesn't work well for me.
Doesn't work well for this, but just in general, I don't enjoy it either. I don't know why. I just don't like it.
I'm hearing that Collision's going to be like Punk show, and whoever is willing to work with Punk. It's like whoever is Punk friendly.
I hate that.
Can go there. I don't know if that's true or not. That's
I know, but I hate that
dirt sheet
then like
stuff,
the show's already that's just I hate that even more than him coming back. Is that there's a whole show centered around like and you have to split the roster just so that he can be like there.
And you were.
And like I know he's a drawer, but that just seems like way too much to do for one guy.
Especially the way he went out. So now you're kind of rewarding that behavior by being like, here, now you get your own show.
And like you can work with people who are okay with you, right? Like
and avoid everybody.
FTR can go there, and like, oh yeah, because FTR like him for some reason. They do.
Dax really likes him. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't like the whole thing. It's just kind of weird.
We'll see if that's what it even is, right? That's what I'm hearing, but who knows? Could be something else. What else you got?
A last one I have was the Britt Baker, the black eye shirt is apparently become a top seller.
Yeah. And Jericho was wearing it this week on Dynamite, right? Yeah. I think it's a cool looking shirt. I know it's taken some heat, but I was saying to you, like, people are complaining about it. I don't know, on the grounds of, is it looking like it's a battered woman on a shirt? Is that?
I would assume so.
But my thing to you was, for me, we have men's shirts with men bleeding on them and stuff. So why is this a big deal if there's a women's shirt?
And they did a Baker bleeding shirt before too.
Right. I don't feel like this is something that would be critiqued if it was a man's shirt. So I really don't think there's much room to criticize it for a women's. They should be able to do exactly what men are doing, have the same matches, have the same everything. So I don't really have a problem with it. I think the shirt looks kind of cool. But
yeah, I mean, I don't think they need to sell it, but because like I think it's just a funny thing for like gas to wear. But I mean, if they're selling, I don't really care.
Yeah,
doesn't matter that much.
Looks like one of Impact's biggest stars is headed towards free agency. Did you hear this?
No.
Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful is reporting that Jordan Grace, as of March, it says, was set to become a free agent. So they're not sure if she has re-signed or will re-sign. And apparently they added in that she is making a lot of money via her exclusive content site, whatever. I don't know what she's using, but makes a lot of money from that. So she's still involved in the title picture, so maybe she's got
a title match coming.
Right. So I'm not sure if she's done or if she's on a handshake deal. You know, sometimes that happens for a while. But anyways, did you say you don't have anything else?
Yeah.
I got a bunch more.
She's already got more buzz than Roddy did.
Right. Yeah, you actually are aware that she has a contract expiring. All in London is shattering records. Did you see this?
I did, yeah.
As of May 4th, so 2 days ago, ticket numbers were at 43,000. Which is breaking AEW's gate and attendance records even before.
I saw they sold 60 or something.
And the cool thing is, that was 43,000 before they actually went on sale, right? It was going on sale on Friday. So with pre-sales and whatever the other gimmicks are to get tickets before you can get tickets, which frustrates me because we are on the opposite end of that sometimes.
Yeah, that was so confusing when we got tickets for Dynamite at the one time. I I was so mad for a second.
So already setting records before they could even sell tickets, however that works. And apparently Meltzer says they're closing in on a $6 million gate.
That's nuts.
And their record so far has been just over $1 million. So they're looking at about 6 times that. So obviously not a bad decision to go and host in a giant stadium overseas.
I'm super pumped.
That should be a fun show.
Hoping their stage is really different.
Yeah, you're always hoping that. It should be, because it'll be a completely different venue.
SmackDown was in a big venue last night. They had like they had a similar entrance stage on SmackDown to what they had at the Rumble this year.
Oh yeah,
because they always do the Rumble in like a baseball stadium or something.
Yes.
So
something big.
Yeah. Anyway, SmackDown looked different, so that's cool.
You like that? You are a big fan of that.
Well, yeah, because they just have a big LED screen now, so it's like when people come up for the entrances, you can't tell the difference between any shows.
True.
It's literally just the graphics that are any discernible differences.
You need the glory days where every show had their own distinct.
Yeah, I like
the SmackDown fist.
Yeah, I like, or even I don't care if we're on SmackDown. I mean, I would prefer like when they did the 2019 draft and SmackDown. Why did I say Smack? SmackDown started on Fox again, right? They had that stage where it was like there's like the top end, and they had like those kind of ring things around the ramp, and like that was cool. And then Raw had like that flat stage with like, remember Kevin Owens ran up it one time and jumped off it, like those are different. So I would like them to have stages like that again, where like they're kind of like LED heavy, but at least they look different from each other.
Yeah,
because I think then
I'll not notice until you tell me.
Then the two shows will look different, right? But then just do unique pay-per-view sets, even like slightly, because at most now all we get is ladders at Money in the Bank,
right? Big prop.
And then Mania, SummerSlam, and Rumble. That's it. Like I think I would like something other than the big four. You know?
Yeah, you would, and then you can tell me about it because I won't notice. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that is cool. So do you remember when Sonya Deville was?
I saw this too.
Stalked and home invaded, attempted kidnapping, whatever it was.
I think she got out, but
so the perpetrator has been sentenced to 15 years in prison. For attempted kidnapping, apparently pleaded guilty to charges including kidnapping, aggravated stalking, and armed burglary. So 15 years in jail and then 15 years of probation. So really glad to see the person is going away. 15 years seems like a lot. I don't know. But good, because that is some craziness that was about to happen that she avoided. So
that was a while ago.
It was a while. That's the swift wheels of justice. That was years ago, and this person's now being convicted, right? Bad news for us, only because it would put someone we really enjoy not where we will see him very much. But Will Ospreay believes he will likely work out a new contract with New Japan after his current agreement expires.
Or he could not. Like, just don't.
That would help us, right? So apparently his deal's up in February of 24. And he said in an interview he's confident that he and New Japan will reach an agreement for him to remain. So unfortunate, good for him. Get your money, go where you want to go, but like not great for us because we think he's awesome. And
no, but I don't think he understands. I want him to go to AEW.
Well, he's probably listening right now, I would assume. Okay. So Will Ospreay,
I think he needs to
go to AEW.
Yeah, he needs to get that.
Or Impact.
No.
No, he would never go to Impact. And then I put this one here as news because her segment at the end of the show wasn't really noteworthy, didn't make a high spot or Restholds. So it's that Indy Hartwell is indeed relinquishing her title. And along the way, sort of announcing...
I saw her reign was like around 30 days or something.
Amazing. Asuka. And announcing that there will be a tournament culminating at Battleground for the vacated NXT Women's Championship. So it was funny because your mother cut by on this and Indy was very, very orange. So your mom thought it was our TV and I'm like, no, because she doesn't normally look like this. It must be a spray tan effect going on because your mother said she looks like an Oompa Loompa was basically what it was. So she gave her speech about leaving, put the title down and left, and then sort of they zoom in on the title and somebody picks it up and it's Tiffany Stratton, and then Cora Jade come up and they start sort of fighting over it, and then pretty much it felt like most of the women's locker room comes out to sort of brawl to end the show. So Indy is gone. I mean, good for her. There's someone I really worry about being lost in the shuffle because she was lost in the shuffle in NXT for months, right?
Which still begs the question.
And then suddenly champion. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I still want to know the person who predicted her to win that.
That's like a lottery win.
That would have been my last pick, probably.
I would have picked anyone else.
But anyways, so that wraps up news and rumors from us. We will now move into our in-depth review every week, and that is where you mostly break down and I comment on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. All right, fella, talk about some Dynamite. I'm going to need to get a coffee after this, I feel like. But for now, I will persevere. Tell me, what happened?
Why do you need a coffee?
Because I only had one today so far. I got up earlier than Listen, I got up earlier than I planned to on a Saturday to go to basketball practice. Only had one coffee. So for the good of everybody, I should probably have a second one. But I'll wait until you're done telling me about Dynamite. No problem. Mm-hmm. No problem.
All right. Opener was Adam Cole, Roderick Strong of NXT fame, Bandito, and leveled up international champion Orange Cassidy, taking on Jass's and Daddy Garcia, as Jericho said once.
I think maybe more than, it sounded like it more than once almost.
I heard it at least once.
And did Cassidy and Bandito, were they out together?
I think so.
They're buddies now, right? As of last week?
Matt Menard, Angelo Parker,
right,
and Jake Hager.
Yes. I was trying to, the reason I'm sort of chuckling is as the match was happening and we were watching it, I was really struggling to remember Angelo Parker's name, and I'm a big 2.0 fan.
Well, it's weird because he used to be Jeff Parker.
Yes.
And then I think he was Matt Lee, right? And then they got their names changed in Jazz for some reason.
Right.
Which is weird.
Cool Hand Ange.
And
Daddy Magic. Because sports entertainment, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Some notables, there was a tilt-roll DT to Hager from Cassidy. Hager then caught him later out of a suicide dive, and he drove him in the ring post, but then Bandito took him out with a dive. Cole headed up the ramp to go after Jericho, but 2.0 stopped him and beat him down. Bandito went for a stalling suplex on Parker, and he held him up for a bit, but then he got stopped by Menard. Then the same thing happened with Menard, but Parker saved him. Then 2.0 went to suplex Bandito together, but then he suplexed them both.
And I was like, is he going to stalling suplex both of them? Because that's not possible. That can't
I kind of thought that was going to happen.
It did not.
Then later on, we got Roddy hot tag, Olympic slam from Roddy to Hager. Daddy Garcia locks in the Dragon Tamer on Cassidy until Cole boots him off. Bandito hit a one-arm military press slam to Parker in the midst of there was a flurry of moves going on. Cassidy does lazy palm strikes to Garcia, and then the finish came when Strong hit Parker with one of his epic knee strikes. Those put people away in NXT, all right?
That's
he beat
right.
Odyssey Jones with a knee strike, so I don't want to see anyone sleeping on a
Roddy. And he's a main roster Odyssey Jones now.
That is true.
It's big time.
Then Cole connects with the last shot for the win, and I kind of liked it. Cole, immediately after winning, ran up the ramp and caught Jericho off guard and attacked him until security separated them.
Yeah, I really like Jericho's position on Cole as well, because it's that heel, he just kept saying, the guy was inches away from his wife while she took a beating, and he did nothing, right? Not mentioning the fact that he was handcuffed there. So I really like that. And I thought this was a good opener. It got quite a bit of time, and I think everybody did a good job, but especially for me, I feel like 2.0 are perfect in this role, right? They can take a beating, they can sell well, they're only really going to be in control if they cheat or they double team or take some shortcut. And if you need them to actually wrestle a little bit along the way, they can, right? But they can make other people look good. So I think they were pretty perfect here. And because the idea of this, I think, was it was really to showcase the babyface team, right? And I think that's what 2.0 are best suited for. I quite like them, and this is the role they fill. And I think Cole added some heat to his feud with Jericho here. He's clearly obsessed with Jericho, as he should be, right? And it was sort of distracting him. And it's the minute he got a chance, he went back to hunting Jericho. So I thought this was a fun match to open the show, and it furthered the Cole Jericho. I'm just hoping Jericho's really hit and miss for me, so I'm hoping Cole and Jericho can have a good match when we get there, because I'm enjoying the build so far.
Yeah, I thought it worked great as an opener. Harkens back once again to the time where this was the norm, which we say pretty much every time it happens, but it is what it is. And I think it's a good strategy for an opener. It starts the show hot, so I'm not going to complain. And I thought they got a solid amount of time too. It didn't feel like they had to cram a lot into a sprint of a match.
No, they got a lot, yeah.
Everyone worked well here, I thought. I liked the story of Cole being desperate for the payback, and he was just obsessed with it. And I liked that Jazz were kind of keeping him at bay. Bandito got some time to shine again. He looked great. Cassie was solid, but mostly was just on the wrong side of the preliminary, or the customary pre-hot tag beating.
Yes. Yeah, it got 17 minutes. I'm just looking.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
And then it was nice to see Roddy back in action. It's been a while because he was dead. I guess
he looked good. He's fast and crisp.
And he looked like he had to miss a beat. Yeah. So, I thought Cole going right after Jericho immediately after winning was kind of a cool touch because just like he didn't waste any time.
I
he
agree.
Just wanted to get at him.
Me too.
And Jericho didn't expect it either, so I thought that worked, and it made it seem more personal. So I thought that was cool, and this was all nice.
It was. I thought it was a good start for sure.
And then next we get Darby Allin and Jungle Boy getting interviewed. It was probably Renee. I don't know.
It was.
Jungle Boy mentioned that they've been in AEW since day one. But they're yet to main event a pay-per-view, and they're going to do that tonight after they win. And Darby was also confident that they would win, and he said it's showtime. Hooray. I love that catchphrase.
That's a nod to Sting, right? A little nod to Sting.
Ironically, in my universe, the weekly show is called Showtime because that's the logo I found. I just use what I can get.
Because you love Sting.
No.
Yeah, I thought this was really quick and fine, right? It was nothing major, just reminding us that this is going to happen, and the baby faces aren't super cohesive, right? Can they coexist? What an interesting storyline for a tag team.
Except very I actually like it unique. This time.
Yeah, I have less of a problem with it here. So yeah, this was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was solid. Obviously the 4 was coming, but I thought these guys were solid. Then we get Cole being taken away by security, and Jericho's kind of yelling at him as he's being taken off. And then Baker comes in shouting at Jericho. She slaps him, rips off the shirt. That's so offensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets escorted away as well. It was just a little bit here, but I thought it was kind of nice to heat up the feud a bit more.
I like it because Cole's anger is justified and appropriate and believable because he's a good actor here, right? And Jericho is probably the best when he's playing like a weaselly heel like this. So yeah, this is good. And getting Britt involved too is fine.
Mm-hmm. Next we got Blackpool in a promo backstage. They're on I think they were on stairs.
Yeah, they were on a stair. I have BCC on the stairs is my note.
Danielson was talking about how Bret Hart's catchphrase, and he thinks it's egotistical to think nobody would be better. He says he's the best wrestler in the world, and he's the best there's ever been. And he said he's better than Bret Hart, and if he's not the best, then it's one of the Blackpool guys.
Yep.
And Brian hopes that Yuta is better than him, and he may have called him.
He cursed at him, right?
Yeah, he called him a little.
What did he? Oh, a little, yeah. A little crap.
Yeah. Brian said that Blackpool wants to make people better. And then Moxley switched over, talking about the cage match next week against Omega. He said that this is a whole new version of Mox that he can't wait to show Omega, and he'll leave one hell of a mark.
Yeah. I think Danielson is pretty much giving his real life philosophy here, but like with an edge because they're kind of heels, right? So this idea that, because by all accounts, I hear that he is there to elevate other talent. He's there to work with other people. He doesn't really care about having titles, right? So this is kind of him, but with an edge. And I love the idea that they're working this into, we're doing all of this stuff we do to make other people better. Like they're bullies, but they actually have a philosophy, right? Instead of just coming out and attacking people and we never know why, they're saying this is how we're drawing the best out of people. And whether
right, because I thought when he was talking about making people better, you could take that in a babyface route easily, right? So I think like he did a good job of kind of contorting it back to the heel philosophy.
And that's why I like it, because it's like, yeah, we're going to beat the crap out of people and we're violent and we're going to attack you, but we're just trying to motivate you, right? So I really like that. And I think it is honestly like a twisted version of Danielson's actual philosophy of what he's doing in AEW. And I also liked that they, because even I, who forget everything, am like, wait, didn't Mox and Omega just? And so he's trying to make that feel.
It has been a while ago.
And he's also saying like, I'm a completely new version now. So at least they're trying to say like, yes, I know.
Oh yeah, I definitely think the dynamic's different this time.
Right, and we've faced each other a bunch, but it's really different now, and here's why. So I like that too.
Well, I know it's a cage match, but I assume there's gonna be some sort of interference. So like, who would have thought Mox and Omega are gonna face off, and Mox is the one with a bunch of interference ready. I mean, to be fair, Omega's got the box, but they're still a little outnumbered without Hangman or Takeshita. I think Hangman should be. Where the hell's Hangman?
I know, he's been missing for a couple weeks too. So I really like Danielson's role with this group right now, and I think the group in general has been killing it. So I really like this segment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love Danielson. I thought it was cool taking a shot at the Bret Hart line, and I thought it connected nicely to his whole thing. I like what he was saying, and like I said, like the way I like because if they want to push people, that could be that was kind of their whole thing when they were babyface too. So I like that they kind of like changed it a bit but kept it the same.
Yeah.
So it's not like them turning heels completely like out of left field. It's like it's logical.
Yes, they have a philosophy behind their random attacks. I like it.
I thought when he called Yuta, when he swore at Yuta, I thought that was funny.
Me too.
And like he said, but like somehow not insultingly.
Yeah.
Like that was the funny part. You was just like,
yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Right, like that was funny. The Mox was great too. I think the match with Omega should be great. They seem to work really well together. And I think a lot's changed since the last time they had a match, so it should be great. And I'm pretty sure this match doesn't explode. So
and that's next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no explosions. Yeah. Quote unquote explosions.
Exploding steel cage death match.
No, I think they learned their lesson on that one.
Next we get, as I was just clamoring for, Saraya wrestling.
Yep. Saraya in the ring is exactly what we wanted here.
This is what I wanted from Britain.
Do I get to say it? This is your women's match this week. It made the first hour.
She's British, right?
Who?
Saraya?
Yes.
Irish?
Yes.
Okay.
No, British. Pretty sure.
Yeah, this is what I wanted for Britain. I don't want Pete Dunne. I want Saraya.
Exactly.
That's what I want. I don't know, because she's like pale like Sheamus and he's Irish. So.
No, she's English.
Okay, I thought so. Or yeah, English, whatever.
Yep.
Same difference.
And she's taken on
another Briton.
No. Willow.
Willow Nightingale. There wasn't a lot here. She hit the page turner, which I forget what she calls it now, but that's a funnier name, so we're going with that.
Yeah, I forget what it is too. Anyways, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Willow had a DVD, but Storm distracted the ref before the pin could be counted. Soho tried to interfere, but Willow pounces her into the ropes, which looked kind of cool. And then Saraya hit the Rampage, which is that like package DDT for the win. Also a funny name.
I don't love it.
No, I like the name.
Just too much Storm and Soho here. I don't think Saraya looks good in the ring. I don't care. And you have Willow, who can wrestle, who is a babyface, who the crowd is behind, and you give her another loss for I don't know what reason you couldn't have put anybody else in that spot. And again, she looks like an idiot because how many times is the babyface opponent of any of these women in a singles match going to come out without any backup, right? You know you're going to get attacked. You know it's numbers game. It is every single time this group wrestles, and the babyfaces still keep coming out alone. So it kind of bugs me for Willow just because I think she's someone they could do more with. Then you get the basic beatdown after the match.
I forgot to mention that.
Sorry, go ahead, because there was a bit of a... Not that it was... They tried to put a little bit of a twist in there.
Sheeta came back, and she's a babyface.
Yeah, so Sheeta came back, acted like she was going to join...
Because I forgot they did the whole thing where she picked Tony over Sheeta, but that was back when Saraya was still a babyface.
Right. And so as soon as Sheeta was posturing like she was going to be a heel, I'm like, oh, this is all a ruse, right? As soon as
she came out, I knew she was going to turn on them or not join them because I got spoiled, but also because... I mean, like, she's an original, so...
She is an original. I wasn't even considering the numbers that it now makes 3 and 3, right? So I'm assuming that's where we're going.
Not even that, but like, that, like, it, I don't know why she would join the Outcast, because she's not an Outcast.
Right, and that's why the whole tease of it was like, nope, she's not doing that. But, so we're back to this homegrown stuff, which I felt like they were leaning away from a little bit, but it looks like we're back, and I probably say it every week. Jamie Hayter needs to get away from this. This is not...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
A strong champion's
It's
angle.
nice to have Sheeta back, too, but I hate that all the major stars and the actual champion are tied up in a storyline I don't care about.
Exactly. It's not enough about Hayter. It's more about the other group, and I don't get it. I don't like it.
At most, we got like that 3-way title match, but that was mostly about Soho.
It was.
If anything.
It was more about her.
Right?
She's emerged as the leader or whatever. Although now it's kind of leveled off again, and I can't really tell. But
I don't really care.
I don't. That's the problem. And I really like Hayter. I really like Britt Baker, too. They need to get away from this somehow. But it doesn't look like it's happening.
So the match was fine. We're back to a mediocre match.
It was.
To be fair, I wasn't expecting anything amazing when I saw Saraya was the one wrestling. In fact, I think I groaned.
You probably did. You did, because I remember when the three of them came out and you're like, oh, it's her wrestling. They're not happy.
That's exactly what it was.
Three.
Of the three. I think I would prefer... it's weird, but I would prefer Storm the most, I think, at this juncture.
Yeah, I agree.
I would prefer Storm the most.
Storm, then a significant step down to Ruby, then a significant step down to the other one, Saraya.
Which is weird, because I was never a Tony Storm guy.
No, but everything's relative.
I was pretty famously not
anti her in NXT.
She wasn't good in NXT.
She wasn't
I don't know what
NXT.
it was, but I hated her the whole time she was in WWE.
Because she's not bad, but she seemed bad there.
Oh, I definitely thought she was bad, I don't know what. That's not my fault, but anyways,
like Taya.
She's yeah. It's like I thought she was kind of bad in NXT too.
She was,
but you need it. The whole Taya thing's weird. I don't know what's up with her.
I don't either.
And if not her, who's beating Jade? We still haven't solved the Jade Cargill problem.
It's going to be Statlander. All indications. Because have you seen her images of her lately?
No.
Jacked.
I haven't even seen her, period.
Like more jacked than ever.
That's good. I like Statlander.
Apparently that was the initial plan, and then the injury sidelined it, and it was just kind of like, keep it going.
That's okay.
Holding pattern until...
I saw
again, I'm just
when
reading.
I was looking at World Culture's review of Rampage, like I was saying, like, or they were... I saw them saying, like, it's not a Goldberg thing. It's because Goldberg wasn't facing a million drivers. He started out with that, sure, yes. But like he started like Wardlow kind of, but like there's no progression for Jade. She gets like a few challenges, but then it's like Wardlow. There's like this regression back into jobber matches, and like I don't know, it's boring. And then like I feel like Taya's just gonna be another challenger, and then what do you do with Taya from there?
And Taya doesn't look good either. Still, like I have seen her have good matches, so I don't know if it's like. There's an NFL thing when you watch a lot of football, like running backs just suddenly go off a cliff and they go from being like dominant to just being not good. And it's almost like, is that what happened here? Because she looks slow. Her stuff doesn't look very crisp anymore. And I swear I've seen matches of hers that I really liked. So I don't know what's happened.
I don't remember any, but like...
Take my word for it.
I feel like I have too. I just don't remember any. I think like 2019 Impact, that was like her era, right? So I think she was good then.
Yeah.
I know she faced Tessa Blanchard for the world title,
and she's faced men a bunch too in various promotions. I'm pretty sure.
I swear she was good, but honestly, I don't.
Not now.
Considering I can't think of any specific examples, I'm wondering if she actually was.
Right.
I don't know.
She's just recognizable, and you're like assume she's decent.
Yeah. Anyways, like the women's division is kind of weird right now because I feel like both titles are kind of tied up right now because you have like haters stuck in this whole thing, which does her a huge disservice.
And the titles may as well not even be on her for this,
which sucks because she was a hot champion. She still should be, right?
Yes.
But I like the Sheeta match was a great start.
Yep.
And then what since then, right?
It's been bogged down in this nonsense.
Yeah, and then the TBS title is bogged down by Jade, which like she's not horrible. It's just like we've been saying, there's been no progression for what it's been like a year with that title, over a year.
Yep.
Like I don't know. The women's division's in a state of, I don't know.
It's not great.
No.
They've always struggled, right? So this is them. I don't know if they thought Saraya was going to move the needle. I feel like they did think that.
CM Punk, not. This is not.
Oh, absolutely not. And I can give Punk credit. Like, I've never liked Punk, but he's a draw. He earns money. He gets viewers.
Saraya does not. He did nothing for the title either.
Saraya does not.
That was actually surprisingly not his fault.
Right.
Because, I mean, even if there was no brawl out, then he still was injured, so.
That's correct. He broke his ankle on the...
No, that was the first time.
Oh, right.
Like, he got injured in the Mox match, too.
Oh, right.
The second Mox match, right?
Injury prone.
Oh, the squash was my favorite thing ever. I'll never forget how happy I was.
You were very happy.
That was a beautiful moment.
It was.
Anywho, next we got the House of Black. They're back.
The trios champions who've been gone for a month or whatever are back.
Ever since it's like Hater. Ever since their first defense, what have they been doing?
Exactly. It's like I don't know, just a bloated roster, I guess, right?
I feel like they faced Air Fox and Lucha Bros, but I could be wrong.
I think they did.
Sorry, Top Flight. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Why did I say Lucha Bros?
I don't know. You're crazy. You're crazy.
They're talking about how they'll take any 3 competitors. So cue the random teams, I guess, or something.
Yeah, but if you're going like it's basically an open challenge, meaning we get a lot of trios matches, cool.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
They'll probably give us something like I don't know. They could. If Pac is still gone, I think Pac is legitimately dead. Or
careful, we have the power to kill people.
I'll test my luck here. He's either dead or he's in England, or maybe the facial injury.
Well, Mike Bump number 2.
Maybe the facial injury is just really bad because he was dealing with that through the Best of 7 series. I don't know, but anyways, if Pac is still gone, I would gladly have Lucha Bros and Vikingo square up against House of Black.
Absolutely.
Or I guess we'll probably have Acclaimed and Daddy Ass go after them.
Yeah, no doubt.
So they're saying it's like they've got an open challenge, or an open house rather. They've got 20-second countouts, New Japan kind of thing. No rope breaks, and DQ can be enforced at like dealer's choice, they said. So I guess like if you want no DQ, you can have it.
Yeah, I was a bit confused by that, and you clarified that the opponent has the choice of.
Yeah, that's the open house. So this is cool. It's nice to hear from them again finally. And you can't really tell here, but apparently they have modded belts. So it's a standard trios design, but now the plates are silver instead of gold, and like the banners where it would say trios champions they're blacked out.
Like, oh yeah.
I think there was color on the belt before, so it's like silver and black basically. And then I think the side plates have House of Black logos.
Cool. Seems like they're gonna have them for a while if they're getting their own match type, right?
And belts.
Right. So
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that they have different rules. I'm hoping we see that in action a bunch. And it's weird they're able to do this, but maybe it's something different, so I'm up for it. And maybe like you said, this gives it's a sign of some longevity. And
I'm hoping because they're saying any 3 wrestlers, right? So if it becomes almost like an open challenge and it's every other week or something, and we're starting shows or having trios matches, I'm totally fine with that. And it does make them seem a little bit like a big deal, the fact that they're getting their own match type, because they really haven't done much to develop these guys as characters. But at least you're going hey, casual people, they're important enough that they get their own match and they can kind of make their own rules. So I just wish we saw them more than we currently do, and I'm hoping that this means that we will, right? That it's basically any 3 guys, throw them together and we'll take them on. So more trios matches is what I want, so I feels like this is a step towards that.
Speaking of any 3 guys, next week the Trace de Mayo Trios Battle Royal. I don't know why.
You don't know why the Trace de Mayo, or just in general?
I just don't know why they have a battle royal for this. I guess because 3
it kind of came out of nowhere, I guess.
Yeah, I saw it advertised, but I still don't get it.
Yeah.
Ari Daivari was tossed out first, and then Uno got dumped out by QTV.
Obviously.
Then Penta and Phoenix took out Nice, and Vikingo took out Josh Wood, so the varsity athletes were all gone. Reynolds got taken out by QT and Solo. Lucha Bros took out Marshall and Solo right after, and then Hobbs took them both out. Vikingo also taken out by Hobbs.
Too early.
Yeah.
I thought.
The Acclaim took out Hobbs. Butcher took out Caster. Blade hit a neckbreaker to Bowens, and then they mocked the scissoring, which is kind of Butcher's face is funny. John Silver was on there. He hit a delayed vertical suplex on Blade, while Butcher and Kip Sabian with purple hair were attacking the Acclaimed. Silver hit a pump kick to the back of the head, and then a German suplex to Butcher, and then Blade tossed him out.
Silver had a nice little sequence there at some point.
Silver got something at least. So then the last teams were Butcher, Blade, and Kip Sabian were all in there, and then Acclaimed were represented by Bones and Daddy Ass. Blade hit a stunner on Gunn, and Butcher hit the clothesline, kind of like that combo we saw on, I think it was in the match with Takesha and Omega. Bowens took out Blade, and then Gunn hit Butcher, and then Bowens hit a super kick on Sabian, and they hit simultaneous kind of famousers, and then they took out Butcher and Sabian at the same time for the win for the Acclaimed.
Yeah, this, I'm not a big Battle Royal guy. This was pretty standard. There was not, if you ask me right now what was a memorable spot, I probably can't give you one.
Silver.
Other than, that little flurry, and I was a little disappointed that Vikingo was out early, but, I guess there's really not room for him to do much in a Battle Royal, right? Unless he waits till near the end when the ring's kind of cleared out, so whatever. The Acclaimed will be a nice contrast to House of Black, right? You've got, super serious, dark guys versus kind of your have fun rap on the way out and have catchphrases and hand gestures and stuff, so I can't imagine the Acclaimed win, but the match could be interesting at least. So I don't know. There wasn't much out of this Battle Royal. I thought it was just pretty basic stuff. Nothing very interesting.
Yeah, it was fine. Not an amazing Battle Royal, but some of the end was solid. I didn't love some of the eliminations. Like you said, Lucha Bros or Hobbs were taken out. Or I guess Vikingo as well. But it was fine. I'm hoping the Acclaim get a shot at least so the match means something.
Yeah.
And I figure they will. But it's not confirmed. It wasn't this is an outright number one contenders thing. It was just
I'm sure it is though.
I that's what I assume because there's no money involved in the Christmas one.
And especially following the whole any 3 guys put them together, we'll take them on sort of thing. Then then you have this. That feels like where it's going.
Next weekend, MJF and Sammy Guevara interview. They're getting Guevara was getting interviewed by Renee, talking about how they have to win this week to keep the singles match. MJF showed up and Sammy was kind of questioning about the limo thing last week, and MJF claimed he had back pain from carrying the company, so he had to lie down. And he admitted he was a horrible friend, and Sammy deserved better, and he walked away. But then Sammy said, like, they had a whole made-up thing. He kissed him on the head. They hugged again, because best friends hug.
That's whatever. Right. I guess so. I do like that Sammy was smart enough to be like, I watched the show, and I saw that car was empty, right? So at least it's like, hey, we have a wrestler smart enough to watch the footage and actually see what happened. But then it was kind of weird because he immediately then fell for MJF's like kind of cartoonish crying and excuses.
I don't
right?
think so.
So I agree. Like, I don't think he's actually falling for it.
Yeah.
I think this is entertaining, but I'm not convinced it's main event type stuff. It feels like slightly beneath that, but it's entertaining, so I was fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked it again. I enjoyed it with all the fake enthusiasm, and I like when MJF was leaving. You can see that brief smile on MJF's face, like he's conning Sammy. Obviously, Sammy knows, but I like the both know it's fake, but they're kind of clinging on to it just because they're close to getting what they want.
You're right.
And next we get Omega in a promo backstage with Callis, and Callis has got like this. He was pointing at a scar, which
a dent in his head.
It's literally, it's so bad.
Yeah,
it's disgusting. He had 23 stitches.
That's a lot. That is big.
It's brutal. And he said that John Moxley will lose every time to Kenny's talent and Don's mind. And he said every time he looks in the mirror, he thinks of John. Omega said, "We know Moxley can fight. Moxley might bleed and he might make Omega bleed, and he might make himself bleed, but everything comes to an end in Detroit." He said the Blackpool made it worse by what they did to the Elite, and it ends next week. Callis' scar is definitely gnarly. Like, it's a huge mark. But I liked how Omega was kind of angry, but also he kind of had like a calm demeanor in it. So I thought that was kind of cool.
He was calm but serious, Kenny, which is different than we get with him a lot. So I like that too. And I thought Callis sounded fantastic. Like, he's using that head wound as like motivation, right? Maybe he's actually pissed about it, but either way, his character is, right? So I thought he sounded great here, and it all makes sense. The match should be fantastic. Although it seems like they're kind of on the same page again, right? Remember there was like a couple weeks where they were clearly teasing dissension between Callis and Kenny?
Yeah.
But again, that's something they can go back and forth.
Right.
Like real relationships, right? Sometimes you go through a rough patch with somebody and then you're fine for a while. So that's life.
Yeah, maybe it's the whole cut thing, or also Hangman's not here, so he's kind of part of the whole dissension thing, because Callis wants he doesn't want Hangman around,
right?
So maybe that's also part of it.
And now Hangman that he's not around,
Hangman hasn't been in the picture, so Callis is a lot like more like along with Kenny or whatever, like they're more on the same page without Hangman in the picture.
And my bias is showing a bit, because if this were WWE, I'd be like, they just forgot all about it. And AEW, I'm willing to give them like
because they don't,
you know what, they
don't
back
always
to
forget
it.
About things.
No, they don't.
WWE tends to.
Mic bump.
But like they're kind of breadcrumbing it, I guess.
I hope so. They generally
something like that.
They're at least capable of doing that, so we have hope that that's what's happening here. Yes.
Next we get Wardlow versus Logan LaRue.
Hey, you got a name this time. Oh yeah, you said it was Lash LaRue's son.
Yeah, for sure.
Legend, WCW legend, Lash LaRue, cruiserweight legend,
NWO Wolfpack alum.
Right.
And then I think he was in NWO Elite too.
Really?
Or maybe not.
Could be.
But like he was in the NWO after that. But at least this one's on a title match.
No.
Last week it was a title match for no reason. So Wardlow hit a military press into a spine buster, wind up clothesline, 3 power bombs get the win. Then he calls out Christian Luchasaurus, and Christian says it's obvious the fans are ignorant trash, so he tells them to shut up. And he says you could send Luchasaurus right now if you wanted to, but it won't happen, especially not in Baltimore. And the shot belongs to him, not Luchasaurus.
Gasp
of all gasps.
So I guess that's more impactful than Luchasaurus. So that's fine.
Because he was an Impact.
But I don't care about these Wardlow jobber matches. Was it for the title or no?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So like I have a similar thing. All I had to say was, oh boy, another meaningless squash for Wardlow, fun. And I was saying at least it wasn't a sham of a title match this time,
right?
Because that's just stupid. Then like the thing for me is the whole reveal that Christian's after the title Luchasaurus isn't a surprise at all to me. It's what I expected.
You did. I thought it was Luchasaurus. You thought Christian from the get-go.
When they first came out, I was like, oh, yay, Luchasaurus is getting a title shot. But then I was like, oh, no, they wouldn't. That's not the likely outcome. So I figured this is what... Because Christian does make sense for me. Or he makes more sense for me because he's more of an all-rounder and he could probably help Wardlow along in a match. Mm-hmm. But Luchasaurus is more interesting to me. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of how that works out. And then I thought it may be him the first time, but yeah, I figured it's unlikely. Wardlow and Arn acting all surprising makes it then they look kind of dumb because is it really that big of a surprise?
No.
Like Christian's why wouldn't it be him in theory?
Right.
Like that part didn't make sense to me because if it is surprising, it's not like. What? It's not like dumbfounding, you know?
And it's the older, smaller guy, too, so it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
It was kind of weird. But yeah, that is that.
It is that.
Next we get Jarrett, Singh, Lethal, and Dot arriving at the Briscoe farm.
Yes.
I guess. They're apologizing for everything that's been going on.
This was strange.
Rampage, I guess.
Yeah.
And Jarrett plays the guitar for the baby. Mark's dad comes in, tells Mark to keep an eye on Lethal's friends because he knows Lethal is okay because they've known him. Lethal issues a challenge to FTR for the titles at Double or Nothing, and he and Jarrett want to talk strategy with Briscoe. Great.
That's it.
Yeah. So it was fine, I guess. Kind of a weird way to set the time after it was fine. Beats watching QTV. But what I want to talk about is why the hell do we have Lethal and Jarrett challenging for the tag titles again? This is the third champion team in a row they'll be challenging. Better yet, why is Jeff Jarrett challenging for an AEW championship in 2023, or ever for that matter, for the second pay-per-view in a row? Because they were involved in the Revolution match. If this goes on, which let's be honest, it probably will.
Seems like
the second pay-per-view title match they've had in a row. Like, what's going on in the tag division right now? It's supposed to be stacked. I don't know why we're getting this.
And they don't win, and they don't. Are they beating other people in between these opportunities?
They beat FTR in singles matches. Whoa.
Right. So yeah, I thought this was like a lot of effort if they actually went to this farm and whatever for not a lot of payoff. Like it could have been funny or. Like, I guess it was fine, but I didn't really think it was...
They didn't even really do a lot on the farm either.
No, there's potential for this to be interesting.
The only thing I remember was them playing the... Oh, I don't see them going back to this.
No, I don't think so either.
Matter.
No. So, I don't know. I underwhelmed me, I guess, because it could have been something, but I didn't really find it very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Next, we get Ricky Starks versus Juice Robinson. And so I thought Jay White was on commentary, but I think he went to the back. So
he disappeared.
I didn't see him at ringside or on commentary because he was in Juice's entrance, but then he was gone. So I assumed he would be on commentary. And
right.
I even prepared to write that, but alas, he was not.
He was not.
So Starks sent Juice in the barricade really hard. Juice sent Starks in the stairs really hard. He body slammed Starks on the outside, did Juice, and there was a nice thud. And then Juice moved the steel stairs, like he was kind of beside the ring, and he was going for something, but then Starks turned around and body slammed Juice off of the stairs onto the floor, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was. This does say that White was sent to the back right after the entrance.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I didn't know much else. The finish came when Starks countered Juice's loose, which is that front falling DDT that he does. Mm-hmm. I like the name. It's kind of funny. And Starks hits a spear and then falls with Rochambeau for the win.
Pretty good spear.
Post-match, Jay White attacks Starks from behind, beats him down in the corner, goes for a Blade Runner, but Starks counters, goes for Rochambeau. Juice saves him, and they duck out of the ring.
Yeah, I made a couple same notes you like that. Juice getting sent into the guardrail really hard looked good, and then Starks took it into the steps really well as well. I quite like this match, and I don't know if you have thoughts, but like, what would you say Juice's style is? Because I'm not sure, but I liked it.
He's kind of, he's kind of unorthodox.
I agree, but I don't even know, like,
kind of brawl-esque. Brawl-esque.
Yeah, so he got a lot more offense in this match. I thought he looked good in the loss here, and I thought the spear looked really good, and I always like a Rochambeau. Predictable outcome here, since Juice is clearly like the stepping stone to Jay White, which is unfortunate for Juice Robinson, because it's not like he's done much since arriving, but I kind of enjoy him, and his facial expressions and stuff I think are really good, like kind of over the top, and I like his style, even though I don't really know how to define his style, but I like this match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. I was looking at What Culture's ups and downs, and they didn't love it, but I thought I liked it.
Me too.
Wasn't like amazing, but I thought it was good enough, and it was pretty hard hitting. Some of the stuff on the outside, at least.
Yes.
And then the rest of the action was solid too. Finish was fine. I wanted Juice to win, but I didn't expect it.
No, he needs to start getting some wins because like White is supposed to be a star in theory, and so he's partnered up with Juice Robinson. He needs to look strong-ish at least too, I think.
And Juice is good enough too. Like
I think so.
He could be doing more.
Yep.
The only thing I didn't like was in the post match was when Juice saved White from the Rochambeau. They should have just continued beating him up. There's two of them and one of him. I don't know why they had to duck out.
Right.
Other than like on their time, I guess. I don't know. It was just kind of a nitpick.
Yep.
Then there's a firm deletion promo package. Recap of everything that's happened. Doesn't really matter. I don't know why we still need deletion matches. The time's long past.
And if you listen to us every week, you know what I'm going to say. Ethan Page is a great performer, but I don't have any interest in this. At least this was really quick, was the saving grace. Like, I just don't care. Matt Hardy can barely move. Jeff Hardy's beyond his prime, and it's just dragging Ethan Page down at this point.
Yeah.
Free Ethan Page.
I didn't watch it, but I hope the rest of the firm got chucked in the lake of reincarnation and Ethan Page can be left on his own.
People getting thrown in rivers is NXT's thing, okay? Actual murder is Impact and NXT have had a murder. That's AEW true. Has not yet.
Well, Pretty Deadly's up on the main roster now, so I guess they're not dead.
They back from the dead. Excellent.
Pretty undeadly.
Oh, I like it.
Nailed it. So next we see Jungle Boy and Darby getting ready backstage for the match. So Darby leaves and MJF enters and he tells Jungle Boy that he still thinks he and Jungle Boy can be atop the business. And he says to look at what he's done for Sammy. I said done to Sammy, I don't know why. And he could be even better if he turns on Darby and lays down. He says he loves him like a brother, and he may not be world champion material. Good job when you're trying to con him.
That's what I'm saying right there, right?
But I guess you can't help it.
Yeah.
You can offer him a spot next to the throne. Jungle Boy said he isn't looking for a spot next to the throne. He wants the crown, which could be kind of corny, but I also kind of like it.
I thought it was corny. I thought it was more corny than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And at Double or Nothing, he'll be world champion. Darby comes back in, and MJF leaves saying he doesn't want trouble. And Jungle Boy tells Darby not to worry about it, and they got this. And Darby says he's got it.
Yeah.
We don't know if they can coexist.
I like that they end with that. Clearly, there's still tension there. And yeah, I can't imagine MJF thought that this tactic was going to work, especially...
No, but I liked it as a little bit before the match because I like classic Weasley MJF because I don't know if he really fully thought it would work, but I like it because the partnership with Sam is kind of faltering, right? You can see the cracks kind of going,
right?
And it might go in this match as it does, but MJF can see that may not work out for him, so now he'll just con Jungle Boy into helping him, and then maybe if that works out, like on the off chance it does, then that'll help him keep the one-on-one match with Sammy, and then if Sammy doesn't agree to lay down Double Nothing, Jungle Boy can help him as the seat next to the throne. He can help him beat Sammy at Double or Nothing. So obviously in my mind, I don't think MJF would fully think this would work, but I like that he's just willing to try anything to give himself an easy path.
And also plan B is at least I'm insulting him and playing mind games and letting him know he's not a main event player. Sort of thing.
Right. And so I like this as kind of like any means necessary kind of thing because he's just a weasel, right?
Right.
So I like it.
Yep.
I thought it was a nice little bit. And then obviously I had Darby and Jungle Boy being kind of standoffish at the end was solid. And it begs the question, can they coexist?
Can they coexist?
I don't know.
Who could tell? I
guess that applies for both teams here.
Sort of, yeah.
A double, can they coexist?
A double turn.
Can they both a quadruple turn?
A quadruple turn.
It's so crazy. Everyone, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
So next we got our main event, which is Jungle Boy and Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara and MJF, and if the baby faces win, we get the four-way.
Yeah, which we're gonna.
What?
We all knew.
Bananas.
We all knew it was going there.
So Jungle Boy and Sammy have an exchange at the beginning until Jungle Boy gets the better of it, and he runs to the corner, and MJF's hugging him for protection. Then Darby and MJF tag in, they have an exchange, and the same thing kind of happens again. Then MJF and Sammy retreat out to get into some strategy. Later on, Sammy's choking Darby with the MJF scarf while the ref is distracted. Then Darby turns around on him, then chokes MJF with it before doing the pop-over stunner. Jungle Boy gets a hot take flurry post-commercial break, capped off with the double clothesline. Back and forth, suicide dives to opposite sides of the ring with Jungle Boy taking out Guevara and MJF. Then Tope Con Hilo to MJF. Sammy gets out of the way of a dive, but then suicide dive from Darby takes him out. And then Jungle Boy hits a high-angle tiger bomb in the ring for 2. on Sammy. Darby hits a code red to Guevara. He goes for one on MJF, but MJF kind of counters into a powerbomb, which was cool.
Because he almost lost it and then recovered, and it ended up looking
cool.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like kind of realistic, I guess.
Yep.
Because it wasn't perfect. Jungle Boy locks MJF in the snare trap, but Sammy breaks it up. MJF and Sammy look for stereo dives. MJF does the run, but he doesn't actually jump, so Sam leaves Sammy to take them both out with his dive. There's a kind of elevated hammerlock DT for 2 from MJF. It's like it looked like it started out like with the hammerlock position, kind of like a cradle, like the Rampage.
Yeah.
But then the way it ended up shaking it was like a hammerlock paradigm shift, kind of.
Or like a hammerlock brainbuster almost.
Yeah. MJF and Sammy get into an argument after they were like blind tagging a lot. Sammy super kicks MJF. Then the finish comes when Jungle Boy hits a running basement forearm. But Darby made the blind tag when Jungle Boy hit the ropes, and then Darby falls with the coffin drop, flattening Sammy for the
nailed
win.
The coffin. Yeah. It looked painful, that coffin drop. Yeah, I thought this was a good match. I like the finish. I like that even the baby faces, like Darby's making the blind tag and stealing the pin from Jungle Boy, right? So to continue that as well, so that like you're setting the tone of like in the 4-way that the baby faces probably won't work together, right? Because they're not big fans of each other. And things have definitely unraveled for MJF here, as you would expect, but he still finds a way to retain, I think, in classic heel fashion when we get to the 4-way. So I thought this was a good main event. I enjoyed, like, there was lots of sort of different combinations, some pretty impactful moves along the way, and it moved several things forward, right? Like, we now know that Sammy MJF trying to work together isn't going to happen. Allen and Jungle Boy probably isn't going to happen either. So we knew this had to be the result, right? We knew we were getting the 4-way, but I enjoyed the journey to get there. So I thought this was a good main event.
Yeah, I mean, never doubted it for a second getting the 4-way.
Right. You didn't.
I was right.
You were very right.
But I liked it a lot. I thought it was a great main event. I think the storyline behind it has been interesting. We had an interesting in-match story, too, with both teams having to work together. But Sammy and MJF making more of a show out of their teamwork. Then there's some fun in-ring action. I think everything came together nicely. Obviously, we knew where this was going, but I'm not complaining because I think, like MJF Danielson at Revolution, I think the 4-way has a true main event big match feel to it.
I think so.
I think it does feel big because it's all the pillars, right? They've been touted as such since the beginning, pretty much. So it feels like a really proper and worthy main event,
and just something WWE would never do.
Yeah,
like 4 guys around 25 years old that a lot of them don't have championship pedigree. Like that's something WWE struggles with. So I'm really happy to see it.
I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, should be fun. Overall, I liked 3 matches on this show, right? I like the opener, I like Juice Starks, and I like the main event. Really like the Blackpool Combat Club segment. Like the Cole Jericho stuff sort of escalating a little bit. I'm intrigued by the House of Black specialty match stuff. And I thought Omega Callis was a really good segment. The women's match was a bit of a downer. The Battle Royal was probably a minus or a neutral, I guess, for me. So I don't know. I'm torn between high B or a B plus. I think I'll be nice and I'll go B plus because going back through it, like I like 3 matches quite a bit. I like 2 or 3 segments quite a bit. So that's usually enough to get it to a B plus. Still not quite an A show for me because none of the matches were like, you got to go see this match because there is one of those I'm going to talk about in Highspots and Restholds that I'm happy to recommend. So nothing quite to that level, but still a really good show. So a B plus.
I know what that is.
I think you do. I've talked about it. I texted you about it actually while you were at work.
I think
on Impact.
Oh, okay. I was
thinking
NXT. My bad.
No, Impact. Oh, NXT was that this week? We'll see. I can't even remember. I'll get to my notes. But anyways, what did you think of this show?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I like the opener too. I think a good multi-man tag at the beginning is never really a bad idea. So I like that. And then I'm just looking back at the matches. The women's match was and the Battle Royal was okay. And then there's a squash. I thought, Starks and Juice was actually solid.
I liked it.
I really enjoyed the main event. I thought that was great. A preview of things to come. And I think any of the pillar segments we got this week were pretty good. Blackpool promo was awesome, and Omega was nice too. House of Black was cool. I'm interested as well.
Me too.
And then Cole and Jericho stuff was also well done, I think. So I would also give it a B plus.
Yeah, seems pretty fair, right? All right, so let's wrap that up and move into our trivia segment for the week that we love to call Off the Top of His Head. All right, so I decided I'm not going to do part 2 of the figures one because I'm trying something different and it could be a game changer for me. So getting on to some AI and asking them to create trivia so that I don't either have to go and find one or make my own. This is our first time ever using AI generated trivia.
Which one did you use?
So I used ChatGPT.
That's what I thought.
And I asked it for, I can't remember what the parameters I put in, but it was basically Backlash trivia because in honor of it happening here, right? So this should be 15 questions. I do have multiple choice if you want them because I added that.
Okay.
And we're going to see if they're right because you have corrected a WWE published books. You've corrected non-WWE published books. You've corrected stuff I've just found on the internet. So we'll see if ChatGPT gets it right. All right, you ready? Who won the first ever Backlash main event in 1999?
Austin.
This says no.
Who?
So is it wrong?
Who?
Options are Austin, Rock, Triple H, Mankind.
What are they saying?
Triple H.
What was the main event?
I don't know. I thought you would know. You're the person that's supposed to know all these details.
Okay, I'll
You're fact checking the very first question. I'm pretty sure I checked it. I think I checked the first couple to make sure.
The main event was Austin Rock.
So, then why would they say Triple H?
That's what I'm saying. I knew it was Austin and Rock.
There's already a problem.
Because it was a rematch from Mania 15.
Weird. I thought I checked that one. Maybe not. All right, number 2 then. Who did The Rock defeat to retain the WWE Championship in the main event of Backlash 2000?
Triple H.
Correct. Well, at least agree. I can
That
say.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he probably won it, but I don't know.
Which wrestler won the 6-man tag team match at Backlash 2001, which was the first ever... What? Which wrestler won the 6-man tag team match at Backlash 2001, which was the first
Rock
ever
won the
match?
title and he didn't retain it, so there's a small difference.
So answer that question. Which wrestler won the 6-man tag team match at Backlash 2001, which was the first ever match on the card? You want options?
Sure.
Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, Acolytes.
Hardy Boys?
Yes. Does that sound like a match that actually took place?
It does.
The phrasing of the question was terrible. Anyways, who won the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship at Backlash 2003?
Orton.
No. You want options?
Sure.
Christian, Booker T, Rob Van Dam, Chris Jericho.
Wait. Sorry. Can we go back to the 6-man tag question?
Yes.
What was the answer? It was Hardy's, right?
Right.
Okay, so Wikipedia is saying the event opened with X Factor, which is X-Pac, Credible, and Albert facing a Dudleys, like the 3 Dudleys.
Weird. So maybe ChatGPT
I'm so
good.
Confused.
Me too. So who won the 4-Way for Intercontinental 2003? Christian, Booker T, Rob Van Dam, Jericho.
I'm gonna go RVD.
No. Christian is what they are saying. Are you fact checking that one?
I'll look at that too. Yes. Sorry. Where's main card?
Intercontinental.
Intercontinental. Where is it?
Seems pretty straightforward.
Where? Okay. I'll keep looking.
Who defeated Eddie Guerrero to win the WWE Championship at Backlash 2004?
I don't think it was Backlash. But JBL would have been it.
Correct.
I don't think.
You think that's wrong too?
I think the event is wrong.
ChatGPT is supposed to be making my life easier, not easier. Which wrestler won the handicap match at Backlash 2005, which was the last?
Yeah, he beat him at Great American Bash. That's what I thought.
Weird. Which wrestler won won the handicap match at Backlash 2005, which was also the last match on the card?
DX?
No. Handicap match 2005, if that's even right. Batista, Triple H, Hogan, Michaels.
Batista?
Yeah.
Was it Triple H and Flair?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't have details. I just
Backlash
have.
05?
What it literally spit out.
Backlash 05?
Yep.
No, Batista beat Triple H for the title, I swear. Backlash. Okay, let me look at that then.
So it feels like it doesn't know what Backlash is what you're telling me.
I don't think so, because I'm like 99% positive that Batista beat Triple H because, yeah, but he beat Triple H with Ric Flair, and it says singles match here. So, and I knew that because Batista won the title in Mania 21, right? Because that's when him and Cena won titles for the first time. And I know he beat Triple H 2 more times, and there was a Hell in a Cell match at Vengeance.
So not good so far.
This is a singles match.
Who won the 3-on-1 handicap match for the World Heavyweight Championship at Backlash 2006? Was this even a thing?
What are the options?
Angle, Orton, Mysterio, Henry.
Mysterio?
Yes. You're getting them right, but...
what's that, Backlash
2006.
Okay. Keep going. I'll fact check.
Which wrestler won the Last Man Standing match at Backlash 2007?
Sorry.
Backlash 2007 Last Man Standing match. Who won? Cena, Edge, Orton, Michaels.
Orton?
No.
Cena?
No. Edge.
Okay, so I don't. Okay, well, first off, I don't see Rey Mysterio on the Backlash 06 card.
Nice.
Just saying. And also that was the show where Shawn Michaels teamed with God. Just saying.
Oh,
but with that one, it could be right. So sorry, we're saying Backlash 07 Edge won a Last Man Standing.
Yes.
Okay,
that's what we're saying.
Or that's what that's saying. The only reason I ask, he's on the poster, actually, that poster.
Okay.
The only reason I'm asking is because I know he won a Last Man Standing match against Cena in 2009. So, no.
That's wrong,
no,
too?
Okay, because and this
Amazing.
is a famous Backlash match, actually. It was Cena beat Orton, Edge, and Michaels in a 4-way for the titles. So,
nice.
Because Backlash 09 Edge won a Last Man Standing match, but that 09 this is not.
Oh, so here you go. Who defeated Randy Orton in a fatal 4-way match to retain the WWE Championship at Backlash 2008?
2007 and Cena. Okay, I guess that's kind of cheating.
They're not even saying Cena, though.
Okay, wait. I'll look at Backlash. Okay, give me the options before
Triple H, Cena, JBL, Jeff Hardy.
I'm going to go with Triple H.
They're saying Jeff Hardy. Okay,
wait. So they're saying Jeff Hardy beat Orton in a 4-way for the title?
Correct.
At Backlash.
Correct.
So I know that's wrong because Jeff Hardy won his first WWE title at Armageddon at the end of 2008 with Triple H and Edge in a 3-way.
Failed experiment.
It's wrong on everything except the year. Well, let me look at the Backlash 08 card.
So bad. So disappointed. I thought I had a...
Okay, so here's the funny part. Was Triple H an option there?
Yes.
Triple H beat Orton in a 4-way for the title. 4-way elimination at Backlash 08.
So they had it right, just the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Amazing. Though artificial intelligence, not so intelligent. Who won a fatal 4-way match at Backlash for 2009?
Okay, give me options.
I think they're just making it up. Orton, Triple H, Cena, Edge.
None of them were in a 4-way, so... Because Edge and Cena had Last Man Standing match, and then Orton and Triple H were in a 6-man tag.
It was Edge, okay?
No, it wasn't.
You don't know anything.
He won a Last Man Standing match, although apparently that was in 2007.
Who won the No Holds Barred match at Backlash 2010?
Is there even... I don't even think that's
Cena,
a real
Batista,
show.
Orton, or Edge?
Batista?
No, Edge. You don't know anything about wrestling. Have you even watched wrestling before?
Okay, get this. Backlash was discontinued and replaced by Extreme Rules in 2010. So Backlash 2010 does not exist.
And when did it come back then?
2016.
Okay, so let's see if because the next ones are modern. Let's see if they got it right.
Okay.
Who won the triple threat match? I'm already wondering.
Okay, just to clarify, Backlash, since it came back in 2016, it was 2016, 2017, 2018.
Okay.
They had a gap year in 2019, so no Backlash, and then 2020, and then 2021 and 2022 were WrestleMania Backlash, just to clarify.
So I have...
So if there's any questions about 2019, It's wrong.
There's not.
Okay.
So we're going 2017.
Okay, that's right.
Was there a triple threat match?
Maybe.
Was it? They're saying it was for the WWE Championship?
No, because that was when Jinder won the title, and that was singles, so that's already, no.
So they are saying that...
So it's fair game at this point for my guess.
Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, or Randy Orton?
3 of them weren't even on the show. It was a SmackDown show.
So then it should be easy.
And Orton?
No, Wyatt.
No,
You're dumb.
He wasn't on the show.
This is pretty fun. A couple more. Who defeated Samoa Joe in a no DQ match at Backlash 2018?
Okay, so they're close because it's Roman, right?
No.
Yes, it is.
He's one of the options, but no.
Yes, it is.
It is Alexander Jonathan Styles.
No, it's not.
How dare you?
No, because
you saying you know more than AI?
Because A, I remember watching that show because the only good match was the opener, which was Rollins and Miz.
Right.
B, that was the match where AJ and Nakamura kicked each other in the balls at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And that was an ODQ match, but it was a draw. And then Roman Reigns beat Samoa Joe in the main event, but that wasn't an ODQ match. So they're wrong on
You're wrong.
Pretty much all counts.
I trust ChatGPT. Last two. Which wrestler won the singles match? between Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe at Backlash 2018. Did they face each other?
That's what I just mentioned.
Yeah.
It's Roman Reigns.
No, Samoa Joe.
No, it didn't.
You're so bad at this. We're going to have to cancel this segment because you don't know anything about anything. You're supposed to be impressive, but you just don't know anything. Shocking. Shocking. Very disappointed. Dumb. I'm not mad, just disappointed. Who defeated, last one, Shinsuke Nakamura to retain the WWE Championship at Backlash 2018?
I just said that match was a draw.
So who defeated him?
AJ Styles.
Why are you avoiding the question? AJ Styles is correct. Well done.
You didn't defeat him, though.
You ended on a high note. So I guess.
I mean, if the point of this if the point of this thing is to show people that I know wrestling, it still works.
Kind of works. It's just
I do like it because I think I just proved it at every point.
You know more than AI.
This is showing me that I shouldn't use this for English.
Well, it's kind of fun, but for sure, right? It clearly doesn't know what it's doing. But
no, it was fun.
We tried.
I wouldn't not do that again.
Okay. Well, at some point we might work it back in again because you can be like the guy that's like actually, and there's correct.
I can be Oscar.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Next time there's like a pay-per-view, we got like, SummerSlam. You should bring it out. You should because that'll be even worse. Because there's so much more SummerSlam.
It will be worse.
Yeah, we should do that.
Well, at least you had fun. If really was hoping it was going to save me a bunch of work going forward, but I guess not. Unless to be fair, maybe I need to get better at narrowing down the perimeter. But when you're picking stuff that didn't happen, how's that my fault?
My favorite thing was, well, actually, my two favorite things were them getting an Edge thing right, where it was the Last Man Standing match, but 2 years earlier. And I think my favorite one was Backlash 2010, because right away that was a red flag to me, because I was like almost positive that did not happen. So
well, we tried.
That was awesome.
Failed experiment, but fun along the way.
Yeah.
So now we'll go back to talking about more wrestling from this week, things we liked and didn't like. We call it Highspots and Restholds. All right, so Monday would be first. So updating us on Raw draft
stuff.
All right,
that's pretty much it. So this is night 2 of the draft.
Okay.
I think I organized it in a similar manner. I tried to hit everyone.
Okay.
Pretty much.
I know of some. I'm not sure if I know of all of them.
So I'll go Highspots first, the ones I like. Oh, I messed one up. Just gotta change that. Okay. And then after we have a Backlash preview too.
Yep.
Okay. So the first one I got that I like is Austin Theory to SmackDown, because I think that's a nice fresh change of scenery for him, like kind of like Gunther, and I figured it would happen anyways. But still, I'm so glad they did that. I don't know if he's had a run on SmackDown yet. I'm almost positive he hasn't, so I like that.
Yeah, doesn't matter much to me, but sure.
That's good.
Okay.
Rollins to Raw is nice. No change, just it means he's still in the running for the new belt.
Right. That's good.
I like that.
Yep.
Pretty Deadly to SmackDown's nice. I think that's good for them. I think they could do well.
They should, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I feel like Vince is going to tweak their gimmick somehow, and it's going to annoy me because they're fun the way they are. Yeah, whatever it is. We'll see.
But I think they'll fit in nicely.
Yep.
I'm at least interested to see. And they could be an interesting tag title challengers. More on the tag titles later.
They're definitely ready.
It's kind of a weird situation, I feel like.
Yeah.
Next, Cameron Grimes to SmackDown. I'm pretty happy for him. He's got a match next week with Corbin. So
good. It's about time
Corbin's
he got
a free agent for some reason.
I'm wondering how they're going to present him as well.
Yeah, because his gimmick.
He's done a bunch of different things.
Yeah. I think he could definitely be U.S. champ in the not too distant future. I wouldn't mind him being Theory. That'd be interesting.
He's great, and whatever they give him, he's gonna. The problem is he's gonna get like pigeonholed as a comedy guy because he's willing to do it and he'll do it well. Mm-hmm. But they'll just write stupid stuff for him probably.
Yeah.
So I hope he's okay.
Next, I have Kaden Carter and Contender Chance to Raw. I think I could have messed it up. I'm just making sure I double check. But either way, I think that's a solid pick. I feel like they might. Yeah, they are to Raw. I feel like they might get lost in the shuffle, but anything to bolster the women's tag division, really.
Yes, at least they're a tag team. Yeah.
So as like them and Fire and Dawn going up, that's fine by me.
And they're hit and miss because they sometimes have good matches and other times look like they're just getting ahead of themselves. But at least
part of a division, I guess.
At least they're a tag team.
And from the supplemental picks, Grayson Waller to SmackDown.
Yeah, that
definitely makes sense. Character ready, good enough in ring.
He's
also
ready.
Mid-card champ material.
Absolutely. Eventually, like major champ, I feel like, if they treat him right.
I don't know if he's Vince's kind of guy, though. That's the thing.
He's Miz-esque. He's taken Miz there before, so we'll see.
Next, Alpha Academy to Raw. No change. Doesn't really matter. Just wanted to shadow Chad Gable.
Yeah, Chad Gable's awesome.
He's amused me lately.
He is. He's great.
I find him amusing.
Yep.
Bronson Reed to Raw. I'm just putting that there because I'd really like him to face Gunther. I think that'd be a cool Haas fight.
Yep.
I can't see Gunther powerbombing him, but we've seen him win with other stuff, so that's okay.
Yeah, he's won with a million
and
things.
LA Knight to SmackDown. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Then so middle ground is the ones I don't really care about, or that I'm not sure, that I don't have a strong opinion on. We'll say, Owens and Zayn to Raw, because I don't know if this means we only add tag titles on Raw or if the titles will stay co-branded. The way I would do it, that makes the most sense, is you keep, and the same goes for the women's tag titles that I'll mention in a bit, that you keep these titles co-branded, right? But then say when these two lose the belts, they have to stay on Raw. Wherever you get drafted, that's where you go when you're not champs.
Right.
Yeah. I think that would make sense.
Yep.
Because the Usos, another one I'm kind of middle ground on, is Usos are on SmackDown, which I'm glad they kept them with Roman, keeps that story going. But then let's say the tag titles are exclusive to Raw. That's stupid for the Usos and pretty deadly for that matter.
Yes.
Right. So I don't want two sets of tag titles again. I don't think that works.
I agree.
I think 2 world titles is fine, but I would prefer 1 tag title and 1 women's title if they could do that.
Fair.
And honestly, I really want them to unify the women's titles now because I don't want another belt swap. That's kind of the dumb thing.
Yeah.
Ripley and Judgment Day, speaking of, no change for them. And with Belair to SmackDown, I knew Ripley would stay on Raw. Belt swap probably soon, which
I would think so.
It's so stupid, but I just want a unification because then only one of the reigns has to end, and it would probably be better for the division, I think. And just the belt swaps are dumb. We need to stop. Don't draft. I think obviously the tag titles are unified, but since any titles with the brand in its name, they shouldn't be switching brands. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because the belt swaps are just so stupid.
It should be more like an expansion draft, because when that happens in sports, when a new team is added, I can protect so many players, but I can't protect all of them. So that means you could be I protect my champions or the people like Brock Lesnar if you want, whoever your major stars are. But then I guess it limits you because you wouldn't have stars changing. But you could limit the number of people they could protect, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense when they draft some low card people when there's still mid card and upper card people there. It does. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? So if you could say they've protected this 15 people or 10 people, then it would make more sense. I don't
know. Next, Strowman Ricochet to Raw. Still a weird team. I guess they can challenge for the belts. I don't really care about them. Boogs to SmackDown. I don't know what he's been doing since returning.
Me either.
Since Nakamura. Shotzi to SmackDown. Meh. Baszler and Rousey to Raw. It's a change for them, which is cool, but I don't know if they'll even been doing much. And no. I've almost lost hope for Baszler. It's just
it's to that point, pretty much. She's not gonna do. Hadn't done it by now. What's she gonna do?
I don't know what to say anymore. They blew their shot with Liv Morgan. She could have easily beat Liv Morgan.
Yep.
Speaking of Liv Morgan and Raquel to Raw, I don't care. As long as same thing with Owens and Zayn, I think this title should be dual branded. But then when they lose the titles, they stay on Raw. That's fine. Also, the unification with the NXT belts, I think, is a smart move. New Day to Raw, Brawling Brutes to SmackDown. Neither faction changes. I don't really care. Actually, no, sorry. New Day is a move. But I still don't care. I just want Pete Dunne. I mean, it's supposed to be coming this year, but the regime change. So.
Right.
LWO to SmackDown, I don't care. I guess they're wrapping up with Judgment Day then. Charlotte to SmackDown, okay, she's on a hiatus. And the rest of the supplemental picks were Riddick Moss and Emma, Los Lotharios, Tamina, etc. I don't care about.
Inconsequential,
exactly. Restholds, ones I do not like or I think are dumb. First off, Odyssey Jones to Raw.
He is not ready.
I have no idea why they would call him up. He's not at all ready in ring character-wise. Mark Henry was better, and at least he found a character. That's the best comparison. Because they wanted to compare him like a fast big man hybrid. I would think that put in my mind a Keith Lee kind of picture.
I have not
he's
seen
a Mark
evidence
Henry.
of fast, to be honest.
No, and he's not ready.
Limited.
Indus to Raw, lame. Trish Stratus to Raw. I don't know why she's even in the draft, because like, is she really gonna be around that long? Like,
I don't
USA
think so.
Network were like, we have to lock her down.
Yes.
Trish Stratus in 2023. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be like AEW's gonna do the draft, and they're gonna lock down Jeff Jarrett right away.
Exactly.
The Dynamite has drafted Jeff Jarrett. Yes. Then finally, Cross and Scar to SmackDown. I really couldn't care less. I just put it here because I wanted to be mean, and I don't want him. I wouldn't want him anywhere personally.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't seem to know what to do with them anyway. So
I wouldn't. I would do nothing.
Right. So what does that take me to NXT?
It does.
What do we have here? Something I liked. Highspot. I thought the opening match was solid. It was Wes Lee just defending his North American title against Drew Gulak. And Lee obviously ends up winning with the cardiac kick. It was only like 6 minutes. Dempsey and Tyler Bate were at ringside there, and at one point Bate had to take out Dempsey to sort of even the score there. So that now gives Wes Lee 8 title defenses, and I think they said the second longest North American title reign. Like,
I'm pretty sure longest. You know who it is?
No. Should I
want to take a guess?
Adam Cole.
Velveteen Dream.
Oh, ooh, you can't say his name out loud. So yeah, just 6 minutes, and no, like you knew who was going to win, but I thought it was pretty entertaining.
I think Melo's probably up there but I think that's more of a combined reign kind of thing.
True. I also liked Trick Williams and Braun Breaker had an interaction in the ring, so Trick comes out.
Well, Trick better watch out. He's meaner than evil.
That's right. Calls out Braun for taking out himself and Melo the week before, and then Trick sort of gives us insight. I don't know if this is true or not, but basically saying that he and Melo have been friends since high school, that Trick showed up at the high school and wanted to find out like who was cool and who he could play ball with and stuff, and so claiming he and Melo have known each other since high school. So then Braun comes out and says he'll beat Melo in front of his friends and family, because I think Battleground is in Melo's hometown. I don't even remember where it is, but that basically Braun, it sort of sounds like that's Braun accepting the challenge from Melo, right? That he's going to beat him in front of his friends and family in his hometown. And then obviously Trick is looking for a match with Braun ahead of that match, and I guess we'll get that next week. And I think Trick sounds really good and is working better as a babyface than I thought he might. So he's a little more flexible than I thought he was as well. He sounds really good and natural. I just wasn't sure if I was going to like him as a babyface. And the flip side of that is I think Braun is much more believable as a heel.
I think he's much meaner.
He is meaner than evil even, right? Yeah. So yeah, I kind of like this little interaction, and it feels like they're really trying to develop Trick. Because he has another appearance on the show, if I remember correctly. So I like this. Then I thought there was a great interaction between JD McDonough and Noam Dar. So Dar is basically saying that he wants McDonough to hurt Dragon Lee this week in their match because he wants him softened up so that Dar can hang on to his Heritage Cup, right? They're basically, all Dar wants is this cup, and he like carries it around with him like a baby, and he like talks to it at ringside and stuff, which is cool. And so McDonough, because he's a heel, is just basically menacing and telling Noam Dar to stay away from him. So Dar is just this slimy, charismatic guy, right? And I love it. And McDonough was like the intense heel, so I thought both were really good. Then quickly into a rest hold, shocking, it's JC Jane taking on Gigi Dolan. And my notes are slow plotting match. So Gigi Dolan's brother is in the crowd. There's not a lot going on in this match. There's some really slow kicks and some other stuff that looks really rehearsed, but still looked slow. The finish kind of came out of nowhere with an exposed turnbuckle. I didn't even see. They just told us. And then a kick. So this was only 4 minutes. Another like short match in this bitter blood feud that we're supposed to have, right? Like it's just
a big one at Battleground or something.
The only cool thing was JC Jane looked cool because she got busted open somehow and her face was all bloody. But like she then beat down Dolan after the match, and Dolan's brother did nothing. He didn't even climb the guardrail or anything. He just kind of let it happen. So this is about as hot as this feud has been, and that's not a good thing, right? It's just not interesting, and they just keep going and going and going with it. High spot, Scripps loses his mask, so that's good. They've sort of seemed to have listened and given up on that. So we got nothing better than a decent 4-minute match with Axiom. Scripps ends up losing to the Golden Ratio. Axiom tries to help Scripps up. Scripps then sort of attacks. Axiom kicks him and pulls off his mask as the crowd chants Reggie, basically, of course. And Vic leading up to this, sounds so stupid, because clearly he's being fed lines, right? So things like he usually lurks in the shadows, and like he uses his mystery to instill fear in his opponents. Like, just
does he?
No, nobody's afraid of him, first of all. and like just stuff that they're clearly telling him to say that sounds really bad. But at least kudos to them for realizing they had to get the mask off this guy. Now they just need to change the rest of his character, right? High spot, I thought, oh, you're right. This match is one I really recommend. JD McDonough's final match at NXT against Dragon Lee. This match was fantastic. I liked it very much. I would recommend you go out and see this. There's one scene where they're sort of battling on the apron, and Lee hits a devastating looking high knee before he ends up taking a Death Valley driver from JD on the apron. Looked good. Then there was a crazy sequence with Dragon Lee ending with the Poison Rana and a bunch of cool stuff in between. Then we get a top rope Spanish fly from McDonough, and then a really nice looking brain buster for a near fall. Really cool counter. McDonough goes for the devil inside, and it gets countered into Destroyer, and that actually
that works perfect.
McDonough has to roll out of the ring to escape, so I love that spot. And then I love there was also a spot outside the ring. I can't remember specifically, but JD McDonough takes some kind of cheap shot and sort of dives in the ring trying to get Dragon Lee counted out because he's willing to take a count out win, but obviously it doesn't happen. And then Noam Dar gets involved with Dragon Lee out on the floor. So Dragon Lee ends up super kicking Noam Dar. And then unfortunately when Lee gets back in the ring, McDonough hits him with a headbutt and the devil inside for what I thought was a surprising win, right? Because
I was surprised, dude. The typical thing is you lose on your way
and
out.
Dragon Lee is new and could use some quality wins, right? So I love the match. That's my only complaint.
I'm okay with him winning, but it's weird too.
Because I don't think most people that are watching main roster are watching NXT, so they don't need to be like, oh yeah, he picked up a big win on the way out. I think a lot of main roster fans are being introduced to McDonough as he gets there. And for the people in NXT, Dragon Lee could have really used a quality win. So I don't know. The match was excellent, and the finish is the only thing. And then you had Noam Dar. He brings the cup out and he has it on the table during this match, and he's like sitting there chatting with it like it's his buddy, which I really enjoyed. Like it's this thing that he loves this cup more than anything. So that's smart, right? Because then when he actually loses it, it means something, you know? So I really like this match and what's going on with Noam Dar as well. What else we have? An awkward Chance and Carter segment followed by an awkward Schism segment. So back-to-back people talking that I didn't really care about. Bottom line, Chance and Carter want to beat Dawn and Fire before all four of them head to main roster. That seems like a weird matchup choice too, right? Both teams are drafted to go.
Yeah, I was
and
thinking
the title's going to go with one of them.
Yeah, it's like if you would think, oh, they're dropping the titles to keep them in NXT. Nope. They're both going up.
All four of them are going up.
Yeah.
And the point of the Schism promo was that Gacy is going to beat Joe Coffey tonight before the Dyad take the titles from Gallus, I guess was the plan.
To keep them in NXT.
And let me tell you, Vic Joseph seemed to have some struggle. And it's funny because when the match between Gacy and Coffey started, which is my next Resthold actually, I was like, wow, they're kind of similar in appearance, right? Like they're both kind of bigger dudes. Like I would say Coffey's in better shape, but like similar size, similar hairstyle. And similar, like no nonsense, straightforward styles between the two of them, right? Mm-hmm. But the reason it's a wrestled, not because of the talent involved, it was only really a couple minutes, and then it's like a brawl between the tag teams on the floor. The referee's distracted. Ava acts like Joe hit her, kind of doing the Eddie Guerrero thing in the ring. So the ref's admonishing Joe Coffey, and then he goes to check on Ava, and Gacy hits his handspring clothesline to Coffey for the win in like a couple minutes. And I thought it was just disappointing, kind of a waste of what could have been a good match. And I thought Joe Coffey looked kind of dumb because he had to turn around and like basically walk into the finishing clothesline from Gacy. And as I was mentioning, Vic called Coffey Gacy right at the end of this match, and like he couldn't tell them apart apparently either.
I mean, they're both Joe.
That's true. High spot. I thought the main event, it was Chance and Carter taking on Dawn and Fire. Again, kind of weird situation with all four of them drafted to main roster already. But there was some good action in this. I don't think it was perfect. Each team hit their finisher at one point, but it got broken up by the other team. I don't know where it happened, but Katana's Chance's face is bloody in this. They did not comment on it. They tried not to show it, but you could see they're a pretty nice looking double Spanish fly off the top by Chance and Carter. That was nice. Cool. The champs retain. I kind of like this finisher because they hit their normal finisher earlier, which is the senton onto the backstabber that's being held. So this time it was a Gory Bomb Flatliner, which I think is a nice combo move too. So the champs do retain in this. And again, Vic Joseph sounds silly here because he's talking about the black cloud over the division since Dawn and Fire have teamed up, and then a couple other like spooky, stupid things. And my question was, first of all, what division? Like, what division are you talking about?
Two teams.
These two teams, basically.
Henley and James are done.
Yeah, exactly. So fast pace in this match. A lot was happening. Not everything looked great. I thought specifically some of Caden Carter's kicks looked really weak early on in this. Few clumsy parts, but overall pretty enjoyable. And then Highspot, because there was stuff after the main event. Trick quickly interacts with Apollo Crews in the parking lot, and I actually quite liked it. Trick is basically congratulating Apollo on his call up to main roster. And then Apollo's response is kind of planting the seeds, I felt like, because he's kind of like, listen, you should kind of be better than just Melo's lackey, and you've got so much potential, and you sort of need to focus on yourself and not so much Melo. So laying that, even though I think Trick and Melo are an awesome act right now, that's inevitably where it has to go, right? So I kind of like it's kind of like planting that seed in Trick's head and starting him thinking about like, yeah, maybe I should be doing more for himself. So I like that. Then taking a look at Impact, which I watched. Opening tag match I thought was pretty fun. It was, I didn't even write down who it was. Oh my God. It was Myers and somebody against Gujar and somebody. Moose. Moose and Myers against Gujar and I can't remember who it was now. But anyways.
Was it your
Murat? Was it? Murat?
That just seems like something they would do.
At one point, Myers got beeled over the top by Gujar and like launched to the floor. I thought it looked really good. It seemed like Gujar got some nice sequences along the way here, and I'm hoping that they can slowly build him into a larger role because I'm interested to see if he can do more. I kind of like him. The finish basically comes when the other two guys are taken out on the floor. Gujar's left in the ring with Moose, and Moose eventually hits his spear for the win, but a pretty fun match. Resthold is just this in general, is Macklin joining forces with Champagne Singh and Mahabali Shera. Really annoys me. I talked to you about it already. Like, you're trying to build a new credible champion, and having him interact with these two...
And face PCO.
Right. Having him interact with these two, let alone tag with them, because they're just low-card guys who never win. I assume it's because they want to give PCO the win in the six-man tag that's coming up on this show, but then I'm hoping Macklin is done with Singh and Shera, because this is not...
I would only assume it's for this, but...
It's not a way to make your champion look strong, right? So I'm hoping to. Resthold Callahan versus Khan. It's Khan, so it's not good. And basically it ends in a DQ because a bunch of Deaner's yellow hoodie guys attack Sami Callahan, right? So that's continuing, which I don't care. High spot, man. I think I like Kenny King. How many weeks in a row can I say he's a high spot, right? So he has an interaction with Nick Aldis, and I really liked it.
Oh, I've forgotten they have Aldis.
Because Kenny King is basically like, are you going to work your way up through like you should, or are you just going to assume you're a top guy and sort of go that route? And then Aldis is replying and kind of saying like, you sound like you're a gatekeeper, so maybe the two of you should have a match. And I liked it because Kenny King is like, no, I'm not the gatekeeper. You need to earn your way to me, right? Sort of saying, I'm not the guy you start out with. I'm the guy you're going to like finish with or whatever. So his attitude and just this whole like, I'm better than I'm treated by the people in this company. I really, really like it. And he doesn't seem to be winning a lot, but it doesn't hurt. I'm not a fan of Nick Aldis. You know who Nick Aldis reminds me of a lot?
Cody.
Yes. Did I say that before?
I feel like you have.
Because he's like, I'm an A+, I'm a generational. You're not, dude. You're like very good in all facets, but you're not fantastic in anything, I don't think. But anyways.
Well, I think it's been a while since his NWA glory days.
Like, he's good in the ring. He's not great. He's good with promos. He's not amazing. But he carries himself like he is, right? And I feel disconnected a little bit. But I thought Kenny sounded really smooth and confident here again. Resthold the second half of the Kaz sit down, because I loved the first half last week.
I think I saw that.
I don't think it was necessarily bad. I think you were lingering. But it was like nowhere near as interesting as last week's. It was a little bit shorter, and he didn't really go into a lot of details because it was like, where were you in between? And it was kind of like, I was friends with the Jacksons and blah, blah, blah. So the timing was
like vaguely about ROH and AEW.
Yeah, the timing was perfect. So I went to AEW, but then there was really no like inside dirt or anything super interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't very specific.
Double rest hold, so much spookiness. I showed you this, right?
Yes.
I went back and made you watch this. So it was on either side of a commercial break. Before the commercial break, we get the Coven. So that is Taylor Wilde and
Kylan King of AEW fame.
And they're lighting some sort of enchanted candle. And apparently Taylor Wilde tells us when that candle burns out, then Deonna Purrazzo and Jordan Grace are just going to disappear.
which is a plot straight out of Power Rangers.
That's what you were saying in the time, right? So borrowing from Power Rangers, probably better on Power Rangers.
The original Power Rangers, might add. Oh, it definitely was. I love Power Rangers.
And then we get, after the commercials, Death Dolls with James Mitchell, because somehow, Rosemary's access to the undead realm, I think that's what it's called, has been blocked. And so they need help. And so Father James Mitchell just magically appears, and he's going to take Rosemary into the undead realm. Jessica wants to go, but they're going to make her wait with some spooky hourglass, and that they should be back before the hourglass goes.
TikTok.
Just ridiculous. The Death Dolls one was also really long, which added to the agony here.
Yeah, I remember the end of it. Last thing I remember was the hourglass.
Audible groaned a couple times. That's it, because I think we're getting next week they actually go to the undead realm and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So I are there honestly people who enjoy these segments? Because it's really hard to find any feedback on Impact, right? So I don't know if people like this, but it's ridiculous. Then the really, really high spot of the week for me, this is the match I would recommend. It's Gresham taking on Mike Bailey one more time.
Yeah, okay. I remember you texting me.
So basically, do you think this makes sense? They're saying that they're 1-1-1.
Yeah, because they had a draw.
No, there was no draw. They've each beaten each other once, and then they both lost in the match to Trey Miguel.
No, because Trey Miguel broke up their third match, which was the number one contenders match before the three-way.
Oh, and then but neither of them won in the three-way. So does that not count as anything?
No, but like in their one-on-one series.
Okay, so I guess that makes more sense than I thought. Fantastic match. You had Gresham. First of all, it started out with a whole bunch of grappling on the mat that I didn't mind at all, and somehow Jonathan Gresham's head scissors look super amazing and painful and hard to get out of. And like Bailey's trying to get out and he can't, sort of thing. So I thought it looked really good. Also a whole bunch of like pinfall attempts back and forth near the beginning of this. And then it became just Gresham repeatedly targeting Mike Bailey's arm in a variety of realistic looking ways. And then Bailey trying to create distance and land his strikes and his flipping double knees, right? He hit the moonsault double knee thing just from the mat. Then he also hit like Nyla Rose's hanging over the top, but he did it with both knees. It looked really good. Anyways, it ended up with what I was afraid of was that Gresham was going to win, because I've recently heard speculation that Bailey's not under full contract there still. So it was Gresham winning. He put in the octopus and Bailey tapped out after about 12 minutes. Probably my favorite match of the week.
Wow, he was in the hold for 12 minutes?
No. It would be this or the McDonough Dragon Lee match were my favorite this week, I think. And again, a good win for Gresham. Unfortunately, I'm a big Bailey fan, but I guess if he's not contracted, then they're probably not going to push him super far. Then a high spot just because she debuted. Trinity does debut here in like the final segment, basically. Really good crowd reaction, considering it's not a huge crowd. They really were happy to see her. But at the end of the day, it was a pretty generic promo about how the women's division here is great, but she's coming for the Knockouts title. Then Deonna Purrazzo comes out to say her piece.
She's coming for the title?
She sounded pretty good. It's surprising, right? Because nobody does that. Jordan Grace comes out and speaks, and then Grace and Purrazzo are going to have one more match, and Trinity is going to await the winner of that. So it's nice to see Trinity there, and I think she's a good fit for Impact because she's not like an AA player, right? But she's talented.
Which begs the question, why is Nick Aldis there?
She's talented and recognizable and stuff, so I think she's a good fit for them, and her entrance and presentation are flashy, and people tend to like it, right? So that is all I had. It
was cooler in WWE, though.
Yeah, it was cooler. That's all I have for that. Do you have any...
No, just the Backlash.
No SmackDown. So we're going to pause while I have a couple sips of water here, and we're going to move into a preview of tonight's, I almost called it a pay-per-view, WWE Premium Live event, and that is their annual, is it now? I guess so.
I think.
It's Backlash. All right, so I'm aware of, I think, most of the card. I haven't put a lot of thought into it, but I'm pretty sure I'm not thrilled by the card.
I put pretty little thought into it because I don't care.
All right, so let's not think together and make predictions on Backlash. What do we got?
Ripley versus Vega for the SmackDown title.
I don't think we're going to disagree here.
Ripley.
It is Rhea Ripley. Like, if it's not,
I would have picked Ripley against a legitimate challenger too, because she's still fresh in her run.
I don't think this can be long either, because I like me some Zelina Vega, but she's not in ring is not her strength.
You just book her as an underdog thing. You get some mileage out of that, then you call it quits.
I think so too. So it's Ripley for sure.
Mm-hmm. Easy. Belair versus Io Sky Obviously, Belair.
Belair, love Io, but
I would have almost thought different if Io was still on Raw, but she's going to SmackDown too.
Or my understanding is Damage Control's really accomplished not much.
That too.
Right? So it's not like she's been heated up really. It's just kind of she's really, really good and the match could be awesome, but I don't think Belair.
Yeah.
So it's Belair winning for sure.
Theory, Lashley, Reed for the US title. So I'm going to write out Bronson Reed right away.
I was just like, who's Reed?
Because he's on Raw and the US title's on SmackDown now, and Lashley and Theory are both on SmackDown. So I think Theory is pretty much a write-off. So I would pick between Theory and Lashley. I took Theory because I don't think Lashley really gains much from winning the title again. Honestly, I think he should get a shot at Roman. I think that would be a cool program.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Lashley really gains anything from this, and I think Theory could benefit from some fresh challengers after this.
I don't disagree with your theory. See what I did there, but it's Vince, so logic need not apply. But so
also why I think that he would put Lashley in the main event.
I'll take Lashley just to switch things. I don't have a ton of confidence, but just to make so we don't have the same picks.
Rollins versus Omos. Why is that on a pay-per-view? I don't know.
Sorry, who versus Omos?
Rollins.
Oh, Rollins.
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm afraid he would lose, but I don't know any universe where that makes sense.
How long will that match be?
Up in like under 6 minutes.
You think 6? Yeah, that's max. Rollins can get enough out of him for 6 minutes, hopefully.
Yeah, Rollins can sell for like 5 minutes or so.
He's going to probably, right? Yeah. Okay. I can't. I wish I could pick differently, but I can't on that one.
Bad Bunny, Damien Priest, San Juan street fight. It's pretty obviously Bad Bunny. They're confident enough apparently that he can do a singles match, which is why it's not a tag match with Dom and Ray.
And I don't think he's losing.
But I don't know he wouldn't lose.
And Priest doesn't seem like he needs to win or does win very much.
Priest hasn't really done much on his own in Judgment Day, so
I gotta go Bad Bunny, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cody Lesnar. It's tough because I just saw in like a video or something like only a few people have beaten Lesnar, I think.
But are they gonna stall Cody's momentum?
That's what I'm thinking. So I picked Cody.
I would pick Cody as well. I think
that makes more sense. I really think like all that finish the story bull crap, whatever. You can't finish the story if he loses again.
I think so too. Like you
did enough
again,
damage.
It's WWE, they could do anything and
but
stuff
they
doesn't make sense.
They did enough damage at Mania.
I think so too. So I'm taking Cody as well. Yeah. Maybe not a clean win? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
But we'll see. I'd take Cody.
And finally, Riddle, Zayn, and Owens versus Sikoa and the Usos. I'm taking Riddle, Zayn, and Owens because you keep the tag champs hot, get Riddle a win. And also, I think it'll further the descent that's kind of in the bloodline because Roman's kind of like, he seems kind of on the Usos. Sikoa seems kind of like, I think Sikoa's kind of like, he seems more loyal to Roman now.
Yeah.
Right? Like than they are.
Yeah.
And so I think like, this will kind of put further distrust in the Usos.
Yeah.
They lost the titles. They didn't regain the titles. They lost here. And now, I don't know what will happen with the draft. So I think this will like piss off Roman more. And I think it's pretty obvious the faces would win.
In the interest of taking different, I'll take the bloodline because normal WWE way is like, this is how we can have the champions lose without losing the title, right? And we can further this feud.
I would think that, but I think furthering the storyline better is the Usos losing because they're already like in.
Doesn't mean it'll happen.
Roman and Heyman are losing patience, right? So
yeah.
There's that.
So I'll take bloodline, just thinking that this is a way to get the bloodline a win without taking titles off people, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that puts us at an hour 48. I like that timing.
Wow. Neato.
Yeah, that's good time. So that is the end of episode 146. We are going to definitely watch Backlash. We'll probably tack it onto the episode probably near the beginning next week, right?
Yeah.
We usually do it. Right. We usually do it after news. So
yeah, I can't be bothered to do it. I mean, to be fair, I don't think you really care either.
And I don't know if I'm going to take notes. I keep taking all these notes and then not really using them, so we'll see. But part of it is to keep me
at least that was Mania
and engaged. True.
If you fall asleep during Backlash, I can't follow you.
True. Well, you fell asleep in Mania, so
yeah.
All right.
So anything's possible.
But yeah, we'll talk about that next week on top of everything we usually do. So we'll be back here for 147 next week. And until then, everybody, take care.